Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chuckesluts episode 32, the number one place on the internet where you come for the sluts and you stay for the chuckles. My name is Sammy Locke, and welcome to our 1 year anniversary episode.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Hiya.
yeah.
What?
No.
Yes.
Who the hell are you guys?
I'm your failed Twitch streamer, Shani Bees, aka Shannon Brunetti, who lives under a rock with Patrick. Hi.
I like that place. I'm Zachary Clapperidge.
And I'm Katy Ford, the high one.
Hi.
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 And our 1 year anniversary is brought to you by Rad House Productions, the people who keep the lights on and the place smooth and cool. They have a promo that's going on currently with audibletrial.com/rathhousepro. That's RATTHAUS Pro. You can get one book and 1 month free when you sign up for their thingy with that. That is audibletrial.com/rathhousepro.
Be better. Read books.
Be
Or
better,
listen to them.
read
Or at least
books.
listen to them.
Or listen to
Same
them.
shit.
If you can't read, we got you.
Put the book into your brain. I don't care how the book gets in your brain. Just book some. Get off Netflix. Book some.
We are also sponsored by Narco Sub. Narco Sub in theaters now. A former U.S. Navy SEAL is forced to become an international criminal that he once fought against when a powerful and violent drug cartel kidnaps his family. So, again, think Narco meets Taken. Should be really super dope.
And he does have the specific set of skills.
He does have a
He
specific
does.
set.
There's a submarine involved.
have a specific set of skills.
With that being said, this is actually a really special thing because we are indeed a year in, and instead of DeWorldo or historically accurate, we're going to kind of talk about this fucking year that we just created this thing that, like, stuck around. Like, this is amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Exactly. For those who don't know how like the creative world works, you know, a lot of times you might make an episode or two of something and then you just realize it's not going to work out. But
Like my podcast.
and well, we all kind of got together and we said, let's go make something dumb and funny to kind of ignore COVID-19 for a while. And,
I think we're pretty smart.
and we're pretty smart. And I'd like to talk about kind of the behind the scenes of how things work because I know a lot of you might be interested in kind of how this all came together.
Wait, what?
I imagine
We were like, yo, you want to start a podcast? That's the whole story.
that is
Oh, you bitch.
that is part of the story. For the most part, I got really bored and I wanted to make actually content on YouTube. That was the first thing I wanted to do actually.
We all.
What ended up happening was a lot of the times I would make a super group and they would all just kind of fuck off after like a thing or two that's made and it really didn't stick. So I actually wanted to make sure that didn't happen. So I reached into my big giant Rolodex of people and I kind of handpicked all these guys you see here.
I was an afterthought, let's be real.
He was an afterthought.
You're always my first.
And the man you don't see.
And the man you don't see, Mr. Kyle.
The man behind the curtain.
Yeah. How's Chuckesluts been for you guys?
I mean, honestly, it kind of saved my life in a way. When we first started,
That's so hardcore.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real because that's all I can keep now because everything in my life is up in the air. Anyway,
What an album.
so we started. Sam approached me to this podcast, and he's like, "We need women." And so
I was not wrong. We needed women.
He wasn't talking about the podcast, just in general.
Yeah.
We need women.
Booga booga, we need women, girl. Anyway,
Need a woman.
For smoosh.
That was the exact tone and intonation. This is not Trendicate. This is the actual conversation.
We don't lie.
and so I knew Sam from college. We both went to LMU together, and we hadn't seen each other for what?
5 years.
5
Long
years
fucking time.
or something. And what a 5 years it was. Starting this podcast, I was in a horrible relationship in lockdown during, right before the Pasadena fires while I was living in Pasadena. And then A year later, I have since left that horrible relationship and have my life back on track.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the first time I actually met you, you were in cosplay. If I'm not mistaken.
What? Wait,
Normal.
really?
Yeah,
Was I dressed up as Belle?
No, I think you were
Normal.
dressed up as Rogue, actually.
Oh,
Normal?
interesting.
Yeah, we were in a how to pitch shit class,
Oh,
and
I forgot I did that.
I
at
think the
school.
first thing I saw was this chick in a Rogue costume. I'm like, nice. That's
Nice.
Yeah, I literally have that blocked out of my memory because that cosplay was not complete at all, and it could have been better. But yeah, no, like literally, especially during times of like lockdown and everything, and in a relationship that kind of isolated me from my friends, this was a way where I like had to see everyone, at least on Zoom, because we weren't gonna do this in person because virus. But it was a way to like keep in contact with people who actually gave a shit, you know. Well, I might have not have been as forthcoming as how like hellscape my life was back then. It was really nice. It was a place where I could be dirty and stupid and have a good time consistently.
So stupid.
Why are you so stupid?
Eso do stupid.
But yeah,
No,
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad this has been good for you. That
very
is-
much glad.
It's very wonderful. I'm glad to have that, like, that you have that positive experience.
yeah.
Let's
Go
keep
on,
it.
everyone.
Let's keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yeah. Wood fucking ruined my life. No.
Facts.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't. It's hard to follow that. It was like it saved my fucking.
I
life.
know, right? Way to lead the fucking conversation.
No, that's
Sorry,
great.
I just have great many words are better than yours.
My words are better than yours. Is that what you just said? Oh my
Very
God.
nice. Very nice.
Very nice, yes.
Yeah.
And my
But yeah, no. For me, it's been wonderful. I struggle often with like isolation. I actively isolate myself, and I'm rough around the edges, and sometimes people don't take that well. And so in lieu of that, I often just find myself hiding in a hole. And so I genuinely enjoy, sometimes Sam has to be like, Zach, where the fuck are you? And you should be here. Well, I'm fucking being a curmudgeon. But every time I get here, it lets me, I can speak and hear and be around people that actually care and have a brain on them. And it's really lovely to feel like you're part of something when often you feel like you're a part of nothing. So it's helped me, it's given me a place. And I don't have a lot of those in this city.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Zach is fucking special. Straight up.
and he's fucking mine.
In a good way. I met Zach on set for his script. I haven't even met him yet. And it was just like, I'm coming on set to direct this thing. And I have never met anyone as hardworking on fucking set as this motherfucker right here. Like,
That's fucking true.
The what ended up happening was we had a 12-hour day, but only 4 hours to shoot, and a 12-page script. And I was I wasn't freaking the fuck out because like we couldn't do it in time. I was freaking the fuck out because no one was fucking doing anything, and except for him, the guy who's like he literally built an entire fucking room, and not
I
even
built
a
two sets that day. I built two full
he built
sets.
2 full sets by himself. He's the only carpenter dude doing the damn thing. And I was like, I need to keep an eye on this motherfucker because he's going to lose his goddamn mind.
Also, that did happen too.
Yeah. And so like maybe like half hour, are you good? Do you need anything? And like we just kind of built a Iron Brotherhood in Fire thing. And it was really good. Like me, him, and Major really kind of hit it off on that project.
And it shows because we've stuck together. Like we've sort of bounced around different projects, but the three of us have worked together since that day. And that was my first year in Los Angeles, and it was a really rough year.
That was your first year?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like the tail end of my first year, but yeah, it was
great. I didn't
one of my
know
first
you,
ventures out by myself. Like
Nice.
when I first here, I was working under a director, and then that was one of my first
I
projects.
thought you were here
got
like a
on.
lot longer for some reason.
Well, I've only been here for like going
5
on
years.
5 years. Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. And so after that project, we start writing together for Rick and Morty.
Still wrote the best Rick and Morty spec
so
ever.
good. So good. And we were doing it for a competition, and we didn't make it, but ultimately, him and I's writing style and skill, and just it just collaborated really well.
Yeah, we vibe well for sure.
Yeah, and we're gonna be doing like a million different things in the future.
Yeah.
and then there was fucking Kyle.
Fucking Kyle.
Fucking me. Yeah.
Me too.
So Kyle is our head brain boy here at the operations center.
Head brain boy. That's a good title.
Head brain boy. Okay, I'm changing my name to everything on that. Head brain boy.
LinkedIn.
Well, what do you do? Brain stuff. Duh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I work in sound professionally for a post-production company. You know, so like I'm constantly working on other random projects for other people, and so I was kind of a shoo-in for this thing, I guess, a little bit. You know, like in
Cocky.
yeah.
I like it.
You know, it's not to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot it anyways. But yeah, no, I mean, I've like been wanting to do a podcast for a really long time, and then Sam, of course, you know, brought in this opportunity for us all to get together, and really has been the glue to stick us all together. Because I, like Zach, am also kind of a recluse a lot of times, where I'm like, fuck everybody, I want to just go stay in my room and just, you know, slowly die of old age.
Just accept the inevitable cold death of the universe.
Yes, exactly.
Just fade away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then, like, you know, when we get together and just talk, and like I get to really, I'm more listening. I'm like the first listener for you guys, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And because you all have experiences that I don't really do. Like, I'm kind of, in a lot of ways, I'm a boring dude. So yeah, like I don't like really do drugs. I don't like go. I don't go out to like the like clubs.
Flip it.
Oh shit! Hang on a
Flip
sec.
it good.
Ah,
So this is our brain boy.
Get his face. Head brain boy. Big
brain
cock
boy.
man.
That's
What?
right. I appreciate that. Yeah. But yeah.
See what you guys pictured?
Yes. Well, I think I've been on a few podcasts.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Now I gotta go find him.
Yes. Yeah. You can find me in some of the earlier, on the dozens, because we didn't have our own shit together sometimes. So.
Oh, we were figuring it out. We played along. We didn't.
Yeah.
There was no book to do
Yeah.
this.
No,
It took us a while to figure out how to do
And
it.
some of our schedules were like not working and stuff like that, you know. But like.
We figured it out.
That was we all figured it out, and we got together, and we tried to stay as consistent as possible, and that has been a real blessing for me, especially. Like it didn't save my life, unlike Shannon. You know, I was never gonna, but you know,
I was never gonna do some crazy shit, guys.
I was never gonna do the great, yeah, except for just slowly die of old age. That's fine. Yeah.
Living the dream.
Well, now you can do it in just a more entertaining way.
Yes.
We have actually his and I story is a little fun actually.
Oh no!
Get in the microphone first. That is
Right.
not how.
Yeah, he can't hear you.
Oops. So funny thing about Kyle and I, our relationship actually survived revenge. So
That's a good way.
Wait,
That's like the first line of a
Did
book.
you want a revenge against me or
no against
Okay.
against
Yes.
Julie.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's this woman who tried to sue us for copyright infringement for things that we made, and he was not with her at the time, but he was the producer at the time, and we actually wrote like our most amazing stuff out of spite and revenge as a result. And we remember Kyle because Kyle was the cool dude and was usually the one to keep her on a fucking leash. And
Whoa.
no, she super sucks. Like I can't stress enough how much she sucks.
That's unfortunate.
Like it's like L bad. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay. And
No comment.
yeah. And so basically we kind of danced around each other for a while. We were actually trying to figure out a project that we could do together. It was an animated thing at first, and then it was another thing, and then finally this podcast came up, and it finally clicked.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's been a match made in hell.
I like that.
I meet my friends in hell.
It's where we belong.
And then there's Katy, our newest member.
Here comes Mama.
I love that.
And,
I love that so much.
And Katy is pretty dope. I feel like she's a unique voice that we just really haven't had on the podcast. Because like I feel like some of us kind of have like a similar vibe, but she just kind of kicks down the door and says, "I'm here, bitches." You know, it's like I dig that. Like that's such a very unique and powerful voice that we really haven't had on the show.
I'm glad you feel that way. Some people think I'm annoying, and while I'm working on that, I haven't been able to be myself since like I moved here, or literally the same year he did. We met a year both into our first year, which was pretty cool. But I've been a closet nerd my whole life. I lived in San Diego, squishy San Diego for 25 years. Moist and athletic San Diego. And I didn't belong there. And I'm sure tons of you know, like, if you feel like you don't belong somewhere, you're lost. Like, you don't know who you are. I had no way to grow, and I was just this crappy person. And I hated it. I was quiet. I was submissive. I was boring as hell. Real boring, Kyle. I'm talking like snooze fest. I don't want to hang out with her. Why does she not say anything? Quiet. Horrible.
It's like impossible to imagine.
Which is impossible to imagine, right? But
really
I moved
is.
here. I found the Scum and Villainy bar. I saw that people were going in public in costumes, and I said, fuck yeah, Halloween all the time. I love dressing up. I love doing makeup. I love being a clown. I don't like clowns, but I love being them. And it's really great. And here, it's not about what you look like. It's not about, like, I had a glow up. I'll admit, I did. Didn't always look like this at all. And I got a personality glow up. And I'm able to show that here. Like, I don't think I'm the smartest person in the room. I can't tell you dates of wars. I don't know how to spell chrysanthemum. I can barely spell
that's
necessary.
how we decide if you're smart.
I'm just saying.
How many wars
That's how
can
a
you
lot
win?
of people decide if you're smart, by what you know. And I don't know a lot, but I can survive. And I have a lot of opinions that are intelligent sounding. I don't like math, but I love giving an opinion. And the fact that you guys let me give an opinion is fucking great. Yeah, you saved me in a different way.
Nice.
I'm very glad you jumped onto this. I'm biased. I'm going to marry this bitch.
Yeah.
October
when she
3rd.
guest starred, for example, I was like, we really need her more on the show. And then when we were looking for a new host person, she dropped her hat in the ring. It's like, okay, we're done.
I was like, well, you're already doing it. I'm like, he's already online. I can just sit next to him. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've been
And you
great
call me
addition.
out on my shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
as I should. Right, wives?
Naturally, I've learned in my life, I'm a better man when there's someone that is able to just like slap me in the face. I'll be like, shut the fuck up.
She gives you, you're
I
getting hit in
need
the
that.
face.
I need my fatty zap. I need an electrocolor to be like, Zach, you're zacking too hard. Please stop.
But instead of the actual thing, we do a hand slap. Like when I get him very high in the evenings because he says after dark I'm allowed. So of course the second the dark hits, it's weed in hand, ready to go. He goes and gets snacks, and when he goes to like eat it, I smack his hand. And I say, "You told me I could do that. Don't look at me like that. You told me I could smack you.
I know.
I love you."
Yeah, it happens.
Snack, please.
She's a lovely human.
But yeah, these peeps here in 32 episodes later, we're not only are we like just doing the damn thing, but we're going really strong about it. And that's deeply appreciated because it's I actually told myself if this didn't work, I thought about quitting entirely. Like just I couldn't do it anymore because it's hard enough to just make content. But to make content,
God, is it hard to make content?
but like making content with other people's even worse. Not that you guys are
in
worse.
LA specifically.
In LA, because
No, yeah.
everyone is flakes. Everyone is this. Everyone's that. That's
Well,
what
it's also because everyone wants to make their own shit too. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to become famous, but nobody wants to help each other
Yes,
become
exactly.
famous.
Right.
Part of
Yeah.
our show, guys.
It is.
I've been here for 5 years trying to make TV content, and I've learned one main rule, and that's I want to write a book. Because I'm fucking sick
God damn it.
of trying to make TV content with people who don't show up.
Yeah.
Or they don't put in the effort. Or
And,
people that
and-
don't.
and people won't do it for free. Like, and unfortunately, like everyone gets upset with who gets casted for what and who works with who. But
Exposure. I don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah,
it.
sometimes
Yeah.
you can't afford to, like, you can't pay your actors or something. We
Right.
were privileged in our Becoming Famous show to have 6 main actors all be SAG because they all just wanted to make content.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
They just- and they
that's
just-
what we wanted
they
to
like
do.
it.
Just
Right.
wanted to make content.
And the thing is, I knew this was going to be like the last hurrah if I didn't get it fucking right. So it took me about 3 months to get our original crew here. I went through about maybe 200 to 300 names of just people that I've worked with over the years, and it came down to all y'all's.
That makes me feel special.
It makes me feel
That's-
real
Sometimes
special.
the bottom of the barrel is great.
You,
That's where I live.
like you guys have no idea how special you guys actually
lives in the bottle
fucking
of tequila.
We are the scum of his pool.
Yes.
Tequila worms.
We keep the habitat alive.
They
Actually, no.
keep drowning and they
We
keep
are
fighting.
No, not the scum. We are the sluts.
We are the sluts.
You sluts! You slutty sluts!
You Chuckesluts! Yes.
Aha, you sluts.
I'm the sweaty one.
And ultimately, you know, we got past the first year, and we did it with COVID, and we did it with all the nonsense that came with it, and we still stand. And I'm honestly looking for 10, 20, 30 years of this Rooster Teeth style because I really like doing this.
God, imagine when we all have children in like 5-10 years.
Speak for yourself.
God, imagine when you're the godparents of our children, Shannon.
Okay, yeah. Be aware. I will be bringing a creepy trench coat filled with pockets
With
and
candy?
just pixie sticks.
Hell yeah.
Nothing but pixie sticks.
Sugar crack.
We walk into the bathroom and like our
Exactly.
kid and
Crack
Shannon are
kids.
snorting fucking pixie sticks.
Shannon turns around, there's a little note, she goes, this is not what it looks like. This is what it looks like.
It's Pixie now, step up.
You've seen nothing. Nothing.
This is my time with your children.
Don't give children drugs, guys.
No worries.
Also, don't snort pixie sticks. It hurts a lot.
I've
It stings a whole
often
bunch.
It's
thought
not
about
what it
what
looks like. It's
eat
actually
them.
cocaine. Okay, that's fine then.
I've-
I thought it was pixie
Oh,
sticks.
can I have
Yeah.
some?
I've often thought about what my son is going to think about this when he gets old enough to like listen and watch this content. It's like he's going to see a whole new side of daddy that he ain't going to know, and it's going to be weird.
We're going to have to
Wow,
discuss
Dad,
that.
you are fucking weird.
Yeah, fucking nerd.
The last thing I need a 10-year-old is to hear, Batman goes down. I think we should wait till they're like 14, maybe.
Yeah, to teach them when they're young. Teach them values.
I'm down, but no 12-year-old should be doing
See,
that.
here's the thing though. Like, what will realistically happen is he's going to look at podcasts being totally uncool because his dad does it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I
He's also going to be mad that he played a character named Finn when we're naming him Finn.
Lols.
He's going to get back.
Wait, what?
Like,
Oh, that I'm playing
Oh my
Finn?
God, you named me after yourself playing a character.
Oh yeah. I was like, you're talking about Sam? Sam's playing Finn?
No,
Yeah, I'm playing Finn.
no.
That was me.
I'm not having children with Sam. No offense, Sam.
I'll put a baby in you, Sam.
Damn.
Rough.
Cannibalism. Sexy cannibalism.
Just put it in my butt, buddy.
Ooh, butt buddies.
Right in the sphincter.
Gross.
Just
This took a different
slosh
turn.
it around, baby boy.
I'm so sorry, little baby Finn.
I don't think you know how babies are made. You don't slosh them
Finn,
around.
if you're watching this, go to bed.
Just like rotate around me like a funnel.
Whoa.
Funnel.
Yeah, penis funnel. Just
He wants to make a tornado effect in his butthole.
Yes.
It's going to be like a black hole.
Dryer
We're all going to
tumble,
be
baby.
sucked into
Dryer
his anus.
tumble. That's what I want.
The images going through my head are not pleasant right now.
Guys, I have a very active imagination. And I literally can visualize everything.
It's
you're
a lot,
saying.
right?
She's rule 34.
I
That's
don't
right now.
want to. It's just here.
I mean, yeah, I'm there with you.
Neurodivergence. It's
I'm-
not fun.
If we have a daughter and she's listening, I'm so sorry.
I mean, I could go on. I have a very, very narrative imagination.
Whatever children I may adopt, if ever, I also am sorry.
It'll be all right.
With that
See,
being
your
said,
parents are sorry. We're human. Get to know us.
It's like the British Petroleum
This is
episode of
weird
South
now.
Park. It's like, we're sorry. So sorry.
Yep.
needless to say, this year sucked. This is probably one of the only places where it did it.
That's
and
true.
We propped a shield around each other to kind of defend each other from this year, and I think that's unbelievably important.
Shield wall.
Yes.
Shields!
Hodor, bitches.
Oh, no, wow.
Oh, you're just my hodors.
We're not chuckle sluts, we're chuckle hodors.
Anyway,
Or slutty hodor.
so yeah, virtual cheers to a year and virtual cheers for the next 20. And yeah, I'm really happy that we're all here.
Yes. John Cena!
All this sappy shit, we're done with that. Let's
If you're still with us, thank you.
yeah. We were just kind of having a self-masturbatory celebration here. We're moving on.
Masturbatory.
So
Ew.
that masturbatory thing was brought to you by this sponsor.
Alrighty then. Hi everybody. So, do you have someone who's been following you around, creeping you out?
Yeah.
Might have been, harassing you in a way. Well, do we have the product for you? Like Daphne in the ancient Greek myth, we shall turn your harassers into plants. Daphne does. Revenge of Daphne. A myth reversed. So instead of turning yourself into the plants to get away from a peeping eye of a horrible god Apollo, fuck that guy, he's trash. We're gonna turn your Apollo into plants. With just a little poof of the Daphne powder from an undisclosed pouch, they'll go poof into a plant of your choice, usually a shrubbery or a tree. But if you call now, we'll get the Daphne's Revenge package, where your harasser will turn into crabgrass for dogs to piss on. Call now, and thanks for sponsored by Persephone. There you go.
Huzzah!
That kind of sounds like that
R.I.P.
movie, The
Minty.
Lobster.
Yeah, so I just thought of like the myth, like I was craving Greek food. There's this like Daphne's restaurant everywhere, and they used to be really good when they first opened, now they're kind of shite. So the original myth was either her dad or she prayed for the gods for forgiveness because like Apollo was being creepy and rapey, so she got turned into a plant before he could have his way with her. And then what does the fucker do? He takes the laurel leaves off of her and then makes it into a crown as like a trophy. So I'm like, what if we did the reverse? What if we turned assholes into plants
Could
and
they
made
be
dogs?
marijuana?
I mean, like, yeah.
If they're cool.
And you smoke your stalker.
I mean, it would just be like Martha's
grass, I'll smoke it.
I mean, true. You could probably turn them into weed and then pick off little bits because picking off their limbs, and it would be like...
Yeah.
Seeds
Oh,
and
like a
stems, baby.
torturing
Seeds
death.
and stems.
You
Yeah.
don't die right away, you die slowly.
I kept hearing
That's-
Daffy Duck. I don't...
Daphne.
Daphne.
I kept hearing Daffy Duck. I'm like, okay.
Daphne.
Everybody has their
Smith.
kinks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Daffy wouldn't be this smart.
Anyway, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is, historically accurate, which is one of our newest ones that are flagships when we're not doing DeWorldo, where we talk about the future and what it entails. The year this time around is...
Are we doing the assassination edition? Who in the future do you have to assassinate to save the world?
No.
I
I didn't prepare for that.
I thought that's what we were talking
thought we were
about.
doing streaming wars.
What?
I thought we were doing streaming wars.
Okay, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
23 or 2452. There we go. The year is 2452, and the world is not like it is today. How is this world?
It kind of looks like when they flash forward to the first Terminator movie, the world is in shambles, but not maybe with robots, who knows, but it's two factions against each other. Netflix versus Disney. They've hired privatized armies that have just scoured the entire globe, like conscripting people into either Disney or Netflix. You're either with the Disney Plus Union or you're with the Netflix Confederacy. Like, just like...
And of course you have your smaller factions, you have the Hulu conglomerates.
They have a small island nation.
You have
Hulu,
like,
Hulu.
The island nation.
Hulu.
Hulu.
you have the Tubi Redneck coalition. Dude, have you watched Tubi? It is redneck Netflix. It's ridiculous.
I've never
Red
seen anything
Netflix.
off of Tubi.
It's all redneck. It really is all like redneck shit.
Are people? Is everything still like? Are the people just people? Are we like? What? How?
So like
what's going on
the
with that?
streaming wars, like the big
Set the
the
stage.
companies have. There's no governments anymore. It's just capitalism. Companies. Conglomerates. They've taken over
We're
land
only like 5
masses.
years from that right
like,
now. So.
Honestly. They've like taken over land masses. The U.S. is no more. China is no more. Russia is no more. There is no more world powers, only corporations. Amazon tried to make a bid, but then Disney blew him into space in his own penis rocket. And so they absorbed Amazon. Disney absorbed Amazon and made a play for Netflix, and Netflix started trying to absorb other people. That's why Hulu made its own nation to get the fuck away from Netflix.
Is that your Hulu gang sign? Hulu.
I know how like that ended. Like all those people and all those corporations.
Hulu made a grab for the United States naval bases, stole all of the ships so they could protect their island nation. I'm just making shit up. Obviously, we're still making shit up because this hasn't happened yet. But
it will.
See it.
But it will.
So all of the U.S. navies and Hulu's hands so they could protect their tiny island nation from the rest of everybody else. And then all of the like lands and tanks and stuff was like divvied up between like Netflix and Disney. It was a brutal bloodbath. Like people were forced into the army. There's a hidden underground of YouTube out there that's like in the sewers.
They're the freedom fighters.
Yeah, YouTube
The
freedom
YouTubers.
fighters.
Now, here's the kicker. Like, the militaries of these corporations are very different from what we would see today. For example, your consumers or your grunt line works, they basically have Google lenses surgically attached to their head so they can see the content that they love at all times.
Ooh, that gives a fucked up, like, a dystopian kind of thing to where, like, once, like, the visuals of these, like, all these corporations are, like, media empires, and, like, eventually you have these, like, automaton people that have been, like, brainwashed since the beginning. They don't have eyelids. They've cut their eyelids off, and they just have, like, a screen in front that you can't sleep. You just constantly, like, that you're fed whatever information is given to you, and you've become, like, this, like, that's a Warhammer-esque, like, fucking dark thing.
Oh, I was just
But
getting there to that.
Yeah, and you're forced to fight in these wars because, like, you see what they want you to see.
Exactly. And then like actors, like big time like actors are like literally like revered as like religious like saints and leaders and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and you have like all these people who produce content as like generals and stuff. You know, and like
That makes sense. Because, I mean, it could be like VR style, too. Because, like, as you go, it's like, like augmented reality. Because then you start, like, altering people's perceptions of what's going on. Because so while it looks like I'm shooting at, like aliens or some shit, it's not. Like, you're being manipulated because you have on, like, these, like, AR sensory deprivation things. And you just see what they want you to see. So, like, well, instead of killing the things you think you're killing, you're really, like, mowing down a family.
and with the House of
fucked
Mouse,
up.
their war
goodness.
cry song is that MICKEY MOUSE Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it puts a dark element on the Mickey Mouse Club for sure.
The Mickey Mouse Club is the secret like
Those are like the
secret
top tier
operation.
assassins.
Yes.
Like all the kids, rather than being like the super young kid, they're just raised to be like Black Widows.
Yes.
And they finally realized the Iron Man suit, so all of their soldiers have Iron Man armor
Oh yeah,
on them.
the Marvel
sure.
is the research and development section of the House of
The
Mouse.
MCU is just R&D for the future.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yes, and Netflix, and so here's the thing, the House of Mouse is more technologically advanced, but Netflix has the numbers behind it, so it's kind of like the Zerg versus the Terran, basically dealing with it. So you just have like millions of Netflix just content zombies versus these like super researched and developed like soldiers on the other side. You're really fucking cool.
That's fucking dark.
Ooh, how they get everyone to join is like kinda
Monthly subscriptions?
monthly
Netflix.
subscriptions, and they trick people into it. So like
Yeah.
they automatically, with the new Netflix, they get a VR thing in the mail. Only the VR thing goes like does the surgery and stuff. Is like high tech shit where they just remove their eyelids and then force them into.
Well, they control
this
the
augmented
hospitals,
reality.
so they could do
Yeah.
that from birth. Like
Like
that's
some
just,
robot shit
And
attached to your face
and that's
as
the
soon as you
kicker.
get in the mail.
No one's actually getting paid in these armies.
Nope.
They are paying the subscription service to be in
In
the
the
armies.
Yeah. Well, because
Ooh.
if they cut you off from the feed, then you're not you can't.
It's like literal drugs.
Like once again, so it's not just that. Like they can black you out. So like in Black Mirror when like the Christmas episode when John Hamm suddenly can't see everyone around him, it's like that. But not only can you not see they literally just they close your visor. Like they block out your senses. Like if you don't do what they say, because they're in control of all like perception at that point. So you have like headphones and eyepieces on, and they black you out. And so then you just have to live like blind and deaf if you don't go along with what they say.
And then there's like a small sect of people who just never signed up for anything.
That's the YouTubers.
Yeah.
The YouTubers.
They're called the
YouTube freedom fighters.
They're yes, affectionately called boomers. And
Oh my god.
and so the boomers, like they're just like they're like a native tribe. We're talking like sticks and stones and shit, but they still have like YouTube that they can freedomly like watch and stuff.
The funny part is probably like YouTube is no longer digital at all. YouTube is literally just like, it's now word of mouth. Like we've regressed back into old school like word of mouth storytelling,
gosh.
and to where YouTube is no longer digital at all. It's like the YouTube people, the creators, they're like true content creators. They're the people that still like put on plays. They're not linked up. They're off the grid. They live
They
underground.
go off the grid.
Yeah.
And,
That's,
and the word monetization is no longer about money. It's about like battle tactics. So we need to monetize the battlefield. Oh, it's so good.
where would you Where would you place it? Where would you be, Katy? Where would you be in this?
I don't know, but I'm really enjoying this narrative. I can see a whole movie going on, and it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I haven't
But,
even
like-
been thinking. I've just been really enjoying it.
So, but if we were in it, like, where would we be?
Where would we be?
I'd take 2 guesses to where I would
I
be.
already know where I'm
The
gonna
boomers.
Yeah, I would be fucking shooting down like fucking bitch Bezos.
You
and
fucking
all these
boomer.
motherfuckers. I would be boomer all day.
Mickey Mouse just sent his ass to space, but you might want to attack Elon Musk with his
Yeah.
his Mars he finally cultivated up there to leave us all to work.
But that's just it. Those are the guys who are secretly running these armies anyway, because essentially what it's really all about is population control more than anything else. The war isn't even real.
Yeah.
They're letting people kill each other.
They're
off.
showing you the war. They're playing a movie. Like you're living in a movie that isn't real. And that's the fucked up part is like these people control all your reality. And so like putting you in this movie keeps you entertained and keeps you busy. It is like, it's the new opiate. They killed God and gave you a movie. Like,
It's like the fat people chairs from that one cartoon movie where they just stood in with the screen.
Wall-E,
and-
Wall-E,
yep.
They never
Yeah,
got up, and they were like, that
exactly.
was their existence.
and that's it because like they replace your value system to where like now you're just part of a cause. And so all these people, and they're probably in league with each other to where like if we just keep the idiots still fighting, then we can just live off their suffering, which is kind of what's already happening, but now it's very direct. And it's really fucked up.
And ultimately, I imagine the end of the war would essentially be the great buffering. And the great buffering is when the boomers finally realized how to end the war. They're able to kind of shoot down the areas where the internet's feeding through, and it
You
just
cut
takes
that underwater
everyone
internet line.
Drain
offline.
the ocean. Easy. Done. Let's do it. Drain the ocean. Get the cords. Cut them.
It's but in a way, one thing that is kind of fucked up is like, I bet if that happened, we could fix like global warming. We could fix everything. It's like a weird culling. We just keep all the idiots all locked up.
Matrix, but
Yeah.
human.
Better.
I don't. It's fucking dark, man. We privatized like existence as a
I mean,
whole.
we're getting there. Like, it costs to live. It costs to eat. It costs to just breathe almost. Like,
yeah, I mean that's the whole.
we're
like,
very
the-
close. Like,
If they could find a way to charge us for air, they would.
if they could charge the sun, we'd have more solar powers. I mean, it's just there's just so many things that.
Bottled water? The
Well,
fuck?
that's in like 20 years. Like that's not even that's in our lifetime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking scary. What a world. What a future. There's never like, what do you think is gonna happen like to like 21, 22, and no one's ever like, oh, I bet things are gonna be great. Never.
Not a-
no
not
one
a
on
soul.
Earth has ever said that, except the writers of Star Trek.
It's like, yeah, we're gonna have a renaissance and everyone's gonna be nice to each other. You're a fucking
People were
liar.
nice to each other in the Renaissance. Like,
Well, you're just a renaissance is like a renaissance of ideals, like not the renaissance, a
No,
renaissance.
yeah, and I think we're kind of halfway there, sort of in a way. Like we're starting. I think like our generation is starting to really reject like capitalism and really reject the ideas
Oh,
of
we're
our
losing.
current government. We're losing. No, we're
People are
definitely-
shouting out at a brick wall.
Yeah, no,
Nothing's happening.
I'm not saying that we necessarily win or lose, but there is a renaissance of idea coming from whether we win or lose is irrelevant, but there is something new happening.
Sure, and I think we're coming like out of an industrial perspective. I think there's the fact that like college isn't now like the end all be all. The fact that people are now artistic jobs aren't looked at so fraudulently, like housing, hospitality jobs, or people are accepting those things as normal parts of life, and we're getting out of this like you have to go to college for 4 years, and you have to get married, and you have to have a family, and you have to get a picket fence, and that was the system for 80 years.
Yeah.
and I mean, what is it? Most of the people think that
Well,
like
post
things
World
in
War II is what
80,
it is.
80 year cycles is what like historians think the world changes on.
Yeah, World War II kind of made this essentially, and the thing
Well,
is,
the Industrial Revolution. Like we're talking the Gilded Age of like 1910.
well, yeah, but if you're looking at kind of like a paradigm shift of a before and after, like the Industrial Revolution was a paradigm shift. World War II was a paradigm shift. And so ultimately what ends up happening is we're currently in a paradigm shift. The problem is the type of shift we need is coming too late.
Yeah.
We
we-
backpedaled.
Yeah, and I mean, and also like
we have at the whole we have backpedaled, and
yeah, the past 5 years, like the world has regressed. I think like 10 years. It's
The,
really
the
fucked up.
past 5 years astonishes me. I've never seen so much political upheaval.
Yeah, but we don't need to get into the modern times.
Yeah.
We're still talking about 24, 44, 40.
25,
guys.
30, 24, 32.
Yeah.
doesn't look good.
But no, that's pretty super rad. 100%. You could write a whole fiction on these
definitely,
wars.
especially if
Trademark.
like the
This is gonna be Black
the
Mirror
big
episode. We're gonna pitch it.
reveal is that people
that think that they're fighting in the war is just in this giant like VR warehouse that they have everyone walk into type of thing.
Yeah.
And they're just like killing massive groups of
It
people.
is kind of funny. You're just kind of explaining the Matrix, though.
Yeah. It's
I was gonna say,
literally basically
That's
the
what we're
Matrix.
getting into.
I
Yeah.
was thinking of allegory.
But
of
it
the
won't be
cave.
robots. It'll be people. It'll
Yeah.
be it'll be our
fighting
corporate
people.
overlords will
Yeah.
matrix us.
Yeah.
In the end.
Well, we're close to being there. Hashtag Earth 2. Metaverse.
I'm glad that you're jumping in.
No,
Good
no.
job. You might as well sell your fucking dong to Elon Musk because he owns the rest of you.
The metaverse is coming in 10 years, and a bunch of metaverses are coming. Epic's making one. Earth 2 is. Facebook is
meta. Do you realize you are diving headfirst into this dystopian future we're talking about?
Yes.
You are doing that.
Yeah, here's the thing. I can't.
You're a slave.
No, the thing is, I can't beat them, but I can profit off them. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, do you think that? Do you think that they're just going to allow you to steal all their money?
Yes.
You fucking imbecile. No.
Where has this conversation
You're
gone?
a sheep.
What is happening?
We got.
We've done two things.
We're getting into the dystopian rabbit hole that it was
Is-
2413. We started putting it to today, and then it just went downhill from there.
Well, we realized we
It
were
was
making...
a strong start, though. Strong.
It's
strong
still
idea.
We
It's a
just
good start.
realized that as
Yeah.
we're talking about it, like, oh shit, it's happening
It's
right
happening.
Yeah.
Yours is just so much better, cooler looking, in
Like,
my opinion.
you really built that world
Yeah, you
really
did.
well. That was great.
Yeah, you did.
Golf claps all around.
I just,
You should write that.
fuck it.
Make it like a graphic novel with a Lore Olympus, like on that.
Oh, webtoon?
Webtoons.
Yeah.
That'd be a good webtoon, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to jump out of this for our next commercial sponsor.
Are you looking at him? It's my turn.
I didn't put
never
it.
know,
I didn't
sir.
put an order.
Okay. Have you ever been hungry and horny at the same time?
Yes.
Well, you're
Always.
in luck. We've got wangs and spicy fangs, ding dongs and spicy schlongs. They said, never go to bed hungry. We said, all you need is a bed. Food fucks. Call today for a free milkshake. Perfect for group orders.
But is it bringing the boys to the yard?
I don't know
Absolutely it is.
exactly what's being advertised, but I'd buy it.
To break it down for you in my announcer voice.
Prostitution
it
and
is
food?
Prostitution and food at the same time.
So like you order Postmates and they bring you your food and fuck you?
Yes, they bring
That's-
you the man who delivers the food, or woman, or whatever you are, unicorn, Shannon. You come to the door with the food. All you need is a bed. Get in the bed, eat some food,
I like your
fuck,
vibe.
or reverse order. We
So,
won't
like-
judge.
So at the end of the shift, this person's just been delivered like 10 orders and railed by a bunch of people? Like,
I mean, they also get some food.
I mean, I imagine you could like upgrade your package.
I'm
You
just
could-
saying,
you
is there
could
like
bring-
is it like a Postmates driver where they just have to go house to house
Like
just
the
banging
driver,
strangers?
Like, the driver and delivery person is the person who they're expecting that. Like, that's part of the job.
I
Right.
think it'd be much funnier if it was just like at random, like it is with Postmates. Like you get someone super hot or like some fat
You can
40-year-old fat
select
guy named
random.
Sal.
Hey, mouth to mouth.
Hey, you want me to rub
Pick a
some
category.
oil on your back before we get into this? Also, do you like a calzone? Like,
Yeah, I got some
you wanna
olive
have
oil
your
for your
salad
sandwich and
first?
for my back.
Here's your fucking burrito.
You know,
Drop
if
your
you-
pants.
If you eat your salad dry, you can use the oil on me.
Make sure you tip your driver.
Tip or a
But
tip.
hey, not just the tip. Okay,
Listen,
not just the tip.
So that's an amazing product and
It's a service.
service
You
with
can't own these people.
service with
okay,
a
Sam?
smile.
They are.
They're
That's one step
freelancers.
below slavery.
They're
all right?
freelancers. It's slavery with
Yeah.
extra steps.
Yeah, slavery with extra
it's
steps.
only on the it's on the Android store. It's not on the Apple store. They don't allow that shit. The only Android users can get a food fuck.
So
And if you can prove you have an OnlyFans, you get 5% off your order.
we're gonna jump into celebrity D&D.
Oh, chill selfies and red carpets. It's celebrity D&D.
Yeah.
And this episode of D&D, we're going to go ahead and bring someone actually more new into this space in terms of what people are talking about nowadays. And that's Mr. Bo Burnham himself,
Pew, 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 pew.
our depressed
Black
voice,
Kyle.
our professed voice of our depressed generation. And because he's so multi-talented, I feel like he'd fit weirdly awesomely into what we're doing. And I don't know where to place him. I don't want to make it easy like he's a bard. No, he's not a bard. He's definitely more than a bard.
What if he's a monk? Or a monk cross-class bard?
Maybe. Because I keep thinking of the song Problematic. That was a thirst trap hotness thing.
But keep in
that's the
mind,
bard.
so like lore bards, specifically, what they're made, they take information from all the other classes. So they can take spells from every other class. Because the lore bards, they're just people who sit and see the world. Like they're less like traveling, glamorous, braggadocious bards. The lore bards are students of the world. And often like they're played as sort of like sage-like people because they don't really fit into any genre. They don't fit into anything. They just sort of but they're good at everything. Like lore bards are arguably the strongest class in D&D because they can actually get spells from other classes before those classes can get them.
That's awesome. I
it's
didn't know
crazy.
this was a thing.
Yeah, it's a lore. The lore bard. It's the strongest bard character you can play right now besides maybe College of Swords. But it's not so like I think you are right that he doesn't fit into a singular thing. But in this particular role is designed to be that, to be the student of the world that just sees and takes from what he needs and does things. Is usually smarter than the people around them and can be this like hermitish outlander.
Okay. I imagine his backstory, like I imagine he comes from like straight up aristocracy.
Well, I totally agree.
Like he would have to understand.
Yeah, and so like revolt against that is sort of his. Say, who would be his dad? So we have all these characters. Who's this? I feel like he's the angry son of one of our characters.
Angry son.
Like, is he like the son of Kanye West?
That would be really
Of
interesting.
evil Kanye West and the Sirens. He doesn't know which one of the Sirens is his mom.
I like that. That totally works. I was also thinking of Mickey Rourke too, because he kind of has like this, samurai against the aristocracy.
I think they would get along.
I think they got along, or he was his mentor basically, where eventually he just got burnt out with the aristocracy, didn't know where to go, and then he heard about this like Ronin samurai wanderer person who's after.
Oh yeah, because our Mickey Rourke left because he was like lied to by the aristocracy, and they ruined him and fucked up his family, right?
Right.
And so, what if they're from like that same thing? So when he was cast out, maybe like everyone sort of dealt with whatever the king of the royal people said about like Mickey Rourke, but this young kid saw it and like knew instinctually like this is wrong. I can't deal with this, and so then like spent his life trying to find justice.
Wasn't there somebody that we had? Who was the one that escaped hell?
Robin Williams.
Didn't he like betray something to like?
He betrayed Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
Okay, but like there was like somebody that he connected with to try to be a better person because of a past memory of possibly a son or something.
What ended up happening was he ended up going to, like, the first place he went to was a church to go fuck shit up, and he ended up getting converted as a result. We didn't actually name that person yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have a whole backstory of like everyone. It's really dope.
Yeah.
I only know like half of them too.
I've
I
still-
wasn't here for all of them.
Yeah, no, I've got a good friend in Tennessee who listens to all these, and he told me, he was just like, "Do you need someone to make a spreadsheet?" Like,
If he wants to do it,
I'm
if
gonna
you
call
want to
Hank.
do it, please do it. We'll take a look at it for sure.
Please do
a-
our work for us.
talk to him. We played soccer together.
And-
he's a fucking cool dude.
And here's the kicker. He is a absolute worshiper of Stevie Nicks.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
100%.
Like basically, he what's up? You got something.
He's not a worshiper. Maybe Stevie Nicks is like sees him as a contemporary, as one of her only contemporaries. And I, as like a comedy element, like this Bo Burnham character is just kind of over it and is done with all these things. It doesn't really want to, and in a very bardish way, like accepts the mortality of who he is, but like also denies the evangelization of these gods and whatnot, of everything. of
Oh, he's
royalty.
actually- he's quite critical.
So he probably doesn't give a shit. And Stevie Nicks shows up sometimes like, "Do you want to just jam?" And he's like, "No, Stevie, get out of here." And he just wants to be alone in his room.
Yes.
And that's just his jam, and he's just fucking over it. So you have to like to get a quest out of him, to get information, to get anything out of him, you have to fucking like convince him in the most articulate, empowering way because he doesn't fucking care about all that shit.
Well, because he's got aristocratic arrogance, and he just talks at everyone because he just knows the world as it's supposed to be seen. Like, art is dead, nothing is real, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Which means he's best with friends with who? Someone we haven't brought up in a while, Friedrich Nietzsche.
Oh my
The
god!
crotchety, like wizard, like they're like he just together.
I forgot we did.
Forgot we did
Oh my
Vichy.
god.
So if
Yeah.
you want to do that spreadsheet, now
Yeah.
would
Well,
be a
there's
good
so
time.
many. We've got
Dude,
like
I
20.
got all this shit in my head because I think about this at least twice a day.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so like Bo Burnham, he definitely interacts with a lot of people in the world, but not necessarily because he wants to, but people look at him
People
as
look for his wisdom.
yeah, and he doesn't want to give it because he's tired of explaining himself over and over and over again. Because when he does explain himself, no one takes him seriously. It's like you don't know what you're talking about. It's like yeah, that's what the last asshole said. Get the fuck out of here.
What's that? And when he speaks, he's often so far beyond people that like people don't necessarily understand.
He's ahead of his time.
So,
Yeah.
and that shit happens. I can fucking relate. I've done a bunch of goddamn competitions lately where I've been writing, and all my feedback is, it's too complicated. I just don't get it. I'm like, well, maybe you're stupid. But I can like that. He's just he's beyond people, and so in that the gods, the people, the royalty, all this shit like, and some people seek out his wisdom, but often when he prescribes it, they're like, oh my god, like I don't. I'm literally sucking this mic's fucking face off.
Obviously not a
Just put your mouth on it.
But I like that sort of part of his personality that you really have to work to get his wisdom, and even when you do, he's a little slim on it because he doesn't think anyone's gonna
Well,
understand.
it kind of reminds me of him in 2016 when he sung the song "The Perspective of God," and I feel like he kind of embodies that a lot. Where it's just like, why the fuck would I want to kick it with you? You know, and like, you know, maybe God doesn't believe in you. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's very. Look, he's the type of person like you want to see all the problems in the world. Look in the fucking mirror, okay? That's the kind of person he is. And when he says that to people, they get real turned off by it.
I think the only person that he would actually like not just be super negative with, because Nietzsche's his like depression pal. Like they both, they're just like a negative feedback loop between the two of
Yeah,
them.
you write books and do heroin.
But the only thing that like this would be a quest item. The only person and the only thing that would make him happier is one of the snacks off of Shaq's cart. That's it.
Simple
you gotta
pleasures.
find
Yeah,
it.
no, like
Find it.
it's like the only true thing he knows. Like everything in the world is fake except for these fucking snacks because they're delicious and Shaq is amazing to him.
So you'd have to
You
like
hate snacks.
you have to go
Yeah.
find Shaq on a quest to go get some snacks so Bo Burnham will talk to you.
That's really funny, and because he's always a super ERS loner, but whenever Shaq shows up, he gets all big and he's like,
Yes.
"What's up, bro?" And like runs out and grabs something, the snacks off the cart.
And like, you know,
funny.
and people question me like, why do you care about these snacks? It's like, it's the only thing that doesn't give me fucking depression, including you.
Well, like, and also, like, I mean, as an intelligent being, like in the like the platonic search for truth, like you brought up the allegory of the cave earlier, like it's hard to deem what is true. Like how even our empirical data that comes into our brain, like how do we know? But one thing that you can know, like your existence is often based on like that sense of joy. And if a snack brings you something joyous, then maybe that's a truth. And so those tiny simple truths are really what make up this complicated existence.
Also,
and so he loves it.
he is lawful good. Absolutely lawful good.
Yes.
He'd have to be. For him to think of the world that
maybe
way.
lawful neutral, because I don't think he believes in good or bad. He's a very
Yeah.
Nietzschean way.
But like the world
Like
is
I
so
think
black and
lawful,
white to him.
Yeah.
but I don't think good necessarily, because I don't think he cares to fight for anything. He could let people be what you will, be what you will. It's all going to end anyway, so who fucking cares?
I can see that.
actually would
Yeah,
say be
yeah.
more like like secretly an anarchist. Like he might be working with like Kelvin Blackstaff to like literally destroy the world because he thinks it's kind of useless, and all he sees is pain around him. And he sees the pain
Well,
is
that's very,
sourced by us.
that's more nihilist than it is anarchist, though.
That
That's
is
a little-
not. A nihilist is a belief in nothing. An anarchist does believe in something, and he believes that the negatives of the world are based on us, and he wants to fix the problem. He is an anarchist against us. He believes that we're the problem, and he knows the cure, and the cure is to delete us. A nihilist wouldn't give a fuck and would do whatever the fuck they want because they don't believe in anything.
I think Greta, before pledging her allegiance to RBG, would have probably talked to him about the futility of the world and how fucked up it is, and tried to change his mind about ending the world, because she wants to change it for the better, and he's like, there is no changing it for the better. The only way to change it for the better is to say fuck it all
Well,
and kill
I-
everybody.
What if, so Greta accidentally turned him into
Yes.
like a super anarchist? Because before he was just living in his tower not giving a shit, and then Greta shows up and it's just like, you don't understand, the world is broken now! And
he's
suddenly
like, you're right, let's destroy it all.
he picks up the cause, yeah.
I was gonna say like maybe he like disagrees but respects her thought process, but I like that a lot better. There's one more person I want to connect him to, and I think that's Robin Williams. I think that there's a kindredness involved there. Oh, you should. If you haven't,
so
if,
sad.
if you haven't heard our Robin Williams one, it's good.
so good.
It's
I
so.
have. I love Rob Williams. I feel a lot like him. Where I'm like I'm funny and I'm intelligent in that way. So like that broke my heart watching his documentary. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel you so deeply, and I get that.
We have
for sure.
we have great lore for him. You should definitely, if you haven't
Yeah.
listened to that episode, you definitely should.
He's a fucking hero.
Yeah.
So with him and Bo Burnham, obviously there's a like a Pagliacci level of comedy there. You know, the crying clown, and I would love to see them kind of interact with each other because those are the only two people that really truly understand each other, I think. And I love this idea where like he's the only person he can be absolutely 100% vulnerable with.
That makes sense. I would see it as like he was almost Robin Williams was going as like a father figure to him in a place where he hasn't really had that mentality. But I think Robin Williams would search for the best in Bo, and I think tragically, I don't think Bo would live up to it.
It's gonna
I
be
think-
an Anakin Obi-Wan arc.
I think it would be
Yeah.
an Anakin Obi-Wan arc. I think he can't live up to how good Robin Williams is because Robin Williams has just too much optimism in that deep, dark pit of a soul of his, and Bo sees the world in its very truest form, and he's beaten by it. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that
And that's the
I
tragedy of
commiserate
his
with him,
character.
is there's a feeling that you've already lost, and Robin Williams
Has too
had
much
hope.
optimism.
I think
Yeah.
I had a lot of hope, and I think Bo has a deep, dark, a sense of loss. Like the war's already done, and so. But I love that dynamic, and it's very Obi-Wan fucking Anakin. That's exactly
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like he'll be living his entire life just trying to live up to somebody that he could never live up to, and it literally just eats him away from the inside, and it actually makes him a little actually a lot of resentment towards his person that he lives up to so much.
For sure. And all that resentment is really just projection and resentment towards yourself.
Yes. Oh my God, this
Curse of the artist.
is a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
That's a deep
Can't
shit.
do him wrong. Like you gotta.
I'd read a
Oh, no,
whole
you could-
fan
Oh,
fiction
yeah.
thing on
You-
Jeannie,
oh, yeah.
Robin,
If-
Jeannie, Robin Williams, and Bo Burnham. I would-
if we did one character wrong. Kaka. Okay. I don't know. If we did one character wrong, who do you think? Like, not necessarily wrong, but someone we could have maybe developed more, or someone who just isn't like much of a thing.
There's a whole nother
Well,
tangent.
we totally
is.
forgot about Nietzsche, so
Yeah,
I
I
just-
completely forgot about old mean wizard Nietzsche. I need to go back and listen to that. Sometime.
Make that spreadsheet for us, bro. We need
Please, we
it.
fucked up.
With backstory.
Hank, I love the.
I mean, Kanye West was really well thought out. Same with Stevie Nicks.
Maybe
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, name all 20 right now. Go.
Yeah, I can't.
That's the thing. We'd have to
I also
look back.
forget the
there.
names because I know one played Vizzini in The Princess Bride, but I always forget that actor's name. We did him.
William
Shaw.
Sean something. Like he had two first names.
Wallace
like,
Shawn.
Wallace Shawn, thank you.
And
Yeah.
then there
I like
was-
Slimy Casino Baby though. I think we did okay with that. There just wasn't much
That was just
for
random
him.
because like I had to kind of look up who that person was. So we did our best.
Yeah, and then there was the guy from Ghostbusters.
Oh, Rick Moranis?
Yeah.
Oh no, he was
I like Rick
really
Moranis.
great.
I like what we made for Rick Moranis. It's fun.
Maybe the one I think we should develop the most is maybe like Elon Musk. I mean, he's like our
He's such a
comedic.
comedic already. Though.
Yeah.
Like, and he's a great like evil overlord.
No, he's definitely great comedic fodder. I would just love to develop more literal Elon Musk and what he's doing in this
Yeah.
world with his fake girlfriend.
musking around. I just love that he lives in the Earth Kingdom fucking lotus shell.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite things Shanny's thrown in.
Yeah, like from Legend of Korra inspiration of like the metal bending city where like Elon Musk just has like a city that just like opens up in a metal flower and he's like, hey, what's up? It's me, actual Elon Musk.
But yeah, no, I mean, again, that's a whole other tangent though. But
Yeah.
I really like his Bo Burnham character. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has the potential power to really change things. You just have to find a way in the game.
Seer. Is there a Seer class?
A seer?
Seer.
I mean, there's like
Diviner?
there's diviners, like,
Diviners.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing. Seer kind of has more of like a mystic element to it than
That's the cross class I think I was thinking of. Like, because I was like, yeah, Lord
Mystics
Bart's
aren't
great, but I
allowed
love the idea of him being like a
anymore, right?
yeah,
They're
divination
really
character.
kind of like once again like mystic and seer. They're both more backgrounds for diviners. Like that's more of a background thing than an actual class. Because the class is
Okay.
just using divination magic, and which can be done through wizardry or sorcery.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Anyway, this is kind of a special episode. We've ran very long on our segments, so
Get over it. It's the 1 year
Well,
anniversary.
we were beating each other off in the beginning, so
I know it felt great. Thank you. Thank you for that tumble dry.
That's nice.
We're doing hills.
What?
Yeah.
doing hills?
Yeah, we
Is it-
can.
is it our
we'll
final
close
hill of the year?
We'll close it down with Hills We Die On for the 1 year anniversary. Do it.
Let's do it.
Zach, you never join us.
I also don't do group chants and I don't do group songs. They make me uncomfortable.
It's true.
You're a druid. That's like your thing.
Group chants? What the fuck are you talking about? Druids live alone.
His thing is teen shrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't like. I don't. I don't like being in groups.
I mean, I have like a serious hill to die on. If-
One of mine just says dad.
I mean, yeah, I
And done. Good job.
That's great.
That's it. No
That's
context
great.
needed.
No context.
Just damn.
Yeah. I guess I'll just start. So my hill's a little bit more intense, but we've talked a lot about mental health and literally how this last year has made us feel. So why the fuck not start with something a little bit more heavy? Because that's what I do this episode, apparently. Basically, I have a real pet peeve when people like are arguing. I know people have different arguing styles and people say shit in the heat of the moment. However, if somebody is having has had a really horrible time, like Lord forbid, trigger warning at this time, skip over my segment.
We'll wave our arms when it's done.
We'll wave our arms. Well,
Ignore Sam.
I'll do this when it's done. Anywho, basically, I struggle with my mental health a lot. This is very personal. I'm going to just share. I guess we're sharing today. So I've had a couple, attempts of suicide in my life. And my mother has been aware of it. Yeah, I'm, shitting on my mom now. She's never going to watch this. Whatever. So basically, we're having an argument, and it was just over some petty bullshit. And then she, brought up, oh, which one of us wanted to kill ourselves after I've, recovered and everything. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck?
Dude.
When people bring up, serious mental health issues as a bitch point in an argument, that's not cool. Don't do that. Don't use someone's stuff that they're actively working on to throw back in their face. Obviously, it's a case-by-case basis, but if it's just literally over an argument about where you put the fucking remote, that just descends into chaos, don't fucking do it, guys. Just don't,
This is a
that's
very
fucking awful.
specific hill, but I'm very much going to die on this.
Not necessarily. I mean, that specific example is.
Yes.
But people do that shit all the time. It's
Right.
a very typical type of manipulation where they find the thing that hurts you the most.
And they
use it.
fuck you with
Yes.
it. Yeah.
And they
Yes.
also, it's trivializing it. Don't trivialize someone's, pain. Don't trivialize the things that destroy them. That is... It's because our pain is so important to kind of who we are very often because we're either dealing with it or working with it, or it's just quite literally defined us. So for some people, it's scarred into our flesh as our problems. And when you trivialize that, you're trivializing a person's whole being.
Right.
You're saying your pain means nothing, therefore you mean nothing.
And the thing is, sometimes there's just people who don't realize they're doing it, and that's even worse. Where it's you need to not use this thing as ammunition because it's something very serious that you shouldn't. Yeah, as a human being who isn't supposed to suck, you need to not do this.
For sure.
And the worst part is these people who do it without realizing, they'll get defensive. Oh, I wasn't trying to. Don't put words in my. Shut up. If I'm telling you you're doing a thing, stop doing the thing.
Yeah.
Eat
Your fucking words.
Also,
Yeah.
just
Compassion.
fucking be nice.
Just be compassionate.
Empathy.
Use it.
Such
all
a
I
rare
have.
thing. I'm with you. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
sorry. You
absolutely.
deserve that. You deserve more.
It's just I talk about it because I'm at a place where I can.
You're
When I
getting
was
out.
in high school, I couldn't. But it's just had I not been even though I don't think I'm a very evolved person, I still make fart jokes like the rest of everyone. I'm more evolved than I used to be, and so I was able to handle it with grace and not violence like I wanted to.
I find poop jokes actually quite evolved.
I
if you
mean,
think about
yeah, they're very evolved. They eliminated everybody. Anyway, but yeah, so it's just don't use people's hardcore weaknesses against them to just be right and to make them shut up because that's a weird, horrible tactic. Just don't do it. The end.
it. All right.
Flags planted. I'm done.
Oh yeah, we're done. We're good.
Wavy wacky water
Yeah,
weasel.
yeah,
Wavy wacky water weasel.
Yeah.
The wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man imported coming to you. That's all I saw with that.
I was about to say, you know that line more than I did.
I made a costume out of a hamper and a bunch of cloth of a wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man with freckles because I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to be like, no, I don't feel, what's the word for it? I don't feel well represented.
In the flappy arms community?
No, just in general. Like freckles, red hair, I just don't feel well represented.
Sure. Yeah, no.
That's not my hill. Can I do my hill?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're up.
I did that already. It's still a thing. Ginger side. End it. But I really want to bring up, because I've had this issue lately, like especially with apps, having a free subscription for something for like a day or two, and it's like $4.99, and if you like keep reading everything, it's like, and then if you do a week, it's $7.99, and then it's $7.99, and or $49.99. But it's like you don't catch it in time, or it's, how do I explain this?
Impossible to cancel.
Impossible to cancel.
They make you jump through hoops.
Or you're like, oh, a week free trial, that's great, and then I get charged, and then after that, it's like a different time. It's like every 4 days, it's $4.99, and it's like, why? Well, I don't understand.
They do it on purpose. They like, the fine print is a legal bullshit thing to do. Like, I imagine they get probably like 20% of their entire monies based off of people fucking that up.
Makes sense. It's just
Fuck you, companies.
Yeah, literally, app-based freemium shit is kind of the fucking worst. Like, I downloaded this, like, puzzle game that I saw was free, and I didn't read the reviews about how many fucking purchases. So they fuck you up, like, you, like, merge things together, involve them into stuff, you have little cute dragons and shit, and you're like, oh, this is great. But then, like, you clear this, like, evil fog, they call it, and then there's a chest, but the chest has a lock on it,
With
and it only can be opened with gems that you fucking purchase, and I'm like, this is stupid as fuck. You're
Gotcha
supposed
game,
to,
Dave.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Both y'all played Genshin Impact though.
And it was good. Fight me. That's my hill.
Until you had to start paying for it.
And then I stopped playing.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I'm like, I'm boy.
or maybe it's an app that like it has a specific service,
Like a
so like
photo app or
like,
something?
Like I do a lot of editing stuff on my phone, especially like Video Leap and stuff like that. And when I like look for something specific, like where do you find that app that puts like your face is now a filter of a celebrity and it looks almost
Oh,
uncanny?
their face.
Face app.
It's neither of those. I have tried, because I look like Emma Stone, let's be real. I want to freak people out, and I've been trying to find a proper one, and every one that I found, it looks so fake. But the ones I see look so real, and I'm like, where is that? I will pay money for that, but I've spent money on like 10 different apps because they falsify what's on them. And it's like, I'll give you my money if you're real.
Now you just gave all your like pertinent information to the Russians.
Probably.
Well, if you remember, like FaceApp like years ago was like literally doing exactly that, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!" And then everyone like they deleted it for a while, and
Now it's back.
it's back.
Nobody cares about the data getting
I'm on,
stolen.
but yeah, I'm on that hill. Like, be truthful in your advertising.
yeah. You can have our money. Just be truthful about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump into mine's pretty quick. If you're in line for food or something, and like it's a line, like you're sitting there for like 20 minutes, and you get there, and you don't know what you want to order. Fuck you. Okay,
Oh,
you
yeah,
had
yeah.
20 minutes to solidify your order. What were you doing that entire time? Like, what could you be doing in 20 minutes of your time where you're standing there that was more important than the reason you're standing in line? Okay? Or like know what you want. Like if I just
Like, did you come there for a reason?
like exactly like even if it doesn't matter if it's a big menu, a small menu, or one of those little placard things that they got, you should know your shit in 20 minutes. Like hell, you should know your shit in 5 minutes. Ideally, you should know your shit when you get there. Like know what you want. Don't waste my time and every asshole behind you. Like just do the thing. Please just do the thing so I can move on with my day and not wait for you to go, can you tell me about your large? It's a large! But order it! Do it! Do it! Sorry, I'm very passionate about this particular thing.
What's even worse is like they get up there and then they have a whole family of like 12.
Oh,
And then they're like,
shout
can I get
out.
a kids meal? And
And did you want anything? Cynthia!
Yeah.
Cynthia! What?
I don't want
Did
that
you want anything?
I don't want that Happy Meal anymore.
Apple juice!
They don't have apple juice. What else do you want?
has a tantrum.
They'll have a children's
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah,
this
hard
20-piece chicken nugget anymore, Dad.
I didn't want chicken. I wanted it in stars.
I wanted seared ahi tuna.
You're a McDonald's
I hate
man.
this.
Vegetarian
I hate this place, Dad. Why are we here? I don't want anything. Fuck you.
Why'd you leave Mom, Dad?
Oh my God.
Okay, so I guess there's a few reasons why you might be 20 minutes behind. Those are probably the only reasons. Don't do it, okay?
It's because your dad left your mom.
Zach, you're up.
Jesus.
Oh my God, that got dark.
I won't go too hard because I feel like I'm going to get real heated. So I'm going to go with what we talked about in the car.
So many things.
Real fucking frustrating when you're hanging out with people and there's people that speak a foreign language and they do that shit like they intentionally will like talk in a foreign language in front of you like when like if you have two French friends that could speak English. Bitch! Oh, I know I hit him. Sorry, there's a fly.
Flies. It's not.
But yeah, and like there's other people here. It's very rude. Like it'd be the same as like it's just like you're all hanging out and there's like two people that just are like whispering and pointing at somebody. It's like, what are you saying? Like, don't do that. It's very mean, and it's like you're not being cheeky. You're not being clever. Go somewhere else and have like your own private conversation in French if you want to.
Yeah.
Go fucking speak whatever the fuck you want. But like if we're all sitting in a circle and like two people just start talking in a different language, like get the fuck out of here, man. Like we're involved.
Well, it's
It's
worse
very
when
real.
it's not necessary. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody is getting food for everybody and they say in French like, "Oh, get me some too," and then like the English people are like, "What did you say?" And he goes, "Oh, I just wanted one too." And I'm like, "Well, why did you feel the need to say it in a different language?"
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
It makes me feel stupid. I don't. Why did you do that?
Yeah, and especially when it's done like maliciously.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is when
Like
it's
the
done.
flex.
It's done as a flex. It's like, dude, you just look like an asshole.
Well, if it's done by flex, yeah, that's stupid. But there also could be the thing where it's like just the language speaking naturally just makes them more comfortable. You know, I don't.
Yeah, Sam, that's not what we're talking
Like
about.
if it is
Yeah,
like if it is easier for you to speak that language, go for it.
Yeah,
Obviously.
like, I'm not
But if I
going
can
to fucking
ask you,
France
what
and
did
being
you
like,
say?
"Speak
And you said,
English."
I want
Yeah.
one too. I would have been like, I don't. Well, you just said it now. I don't know why you needed to say it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a slip up because like we think in English, but other people think in their own mother tongues.
Yeah. I'm.
Like the
we're
the
specifically
malicious
talking
stuff,
about the
though,
example
yeah.
of people being rude
Like
and doing.
literally just talking about you behind your back, but in your face because you don't know your
Yeah,
language.
or I mean, it's just.
I have
Yeah.
more than one friend who's like bi or trilingual, and their whole thing is they actually tend to think in subtitles, which I
That's
think
really
is
funny.
That's
really
interesting.
interesting. Yeah. Like
Checks out.
they'll speak it naturally, but then they'll actually translate it like as subtitles in
Wow.
language. I think that's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's trippy to think about.
I'm definitely on this hill with Zach, for sure. That's happened to me 3 times. I've had a friend from college come out to visit, and they brought a friend as well, both from Ukraine, whatever, and the entire time, even though that they were staying with me in my house and all that stuff, they would just talk in Russian the entire time. And I'm like, yeah. So
It's isolating.
it's very
It is.
isolating.
And it's sometimes like you're just hanging out, and it's
Yeah.
like it's you just got to be empathetic. Once again, like
Yeah.
be kind, guys.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not telling you have to speak English all the time.
Right.
But like if we're all sitting here together and just like two people are like, oh, like poop,
Yeah.
fucking going in,
Yeah.
like, and then it's like, well, the rest of us are here. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and you just
Sure.
switch to a different language when you've all been speaking
Right.
English right here.
Exactly.
And it would be the same in any other language. Just like don't isolate people.
Right.
Is really the key here.
I mean, that's kind of, and honestly, that's kind of a reason why I haven't actually gone to like Europe or something like that, because I don't know any other languages, and I don't want to be that guy, but like, hey, do you know English or whatever like that, and like
Yeah.
constantly.
But
is
that,
like,
that at least is
Yeah.
like it's an expected thing.
right.
And it's more like your example's more like it's there's something hurtful about it. Like if you're in another country, you're the weirdo.
Yes.
You're a tourist.
Yeah.
That's what tourists do.
But like if you're touristing in my house,
Yeah.
like I and you make me look like an asshole, man.
Right.
I'm like I just want to hang out.
I get that.
Yeah.
With that being said, we are super duper over time.
Woo!
Yeah,
It's worth it.
we made it.
It's worth
It's
it.
an
We made it.
annual episode.
Absolutely. Special episode. Shit, where can we find you in the world?
So hopefully by this time I've gone out of my rock with Patrick.
Deep throated.
Well,
Hopefully by this time I've left Patrick's Star's couch. under the rock, and I will be traipsing through some the LA National Forest and
Tripsy.
have a witch hut out there somewhere in the
fucking
woods
yeah.
I respect your
because
witch
I don't want to do anything with my life and I want to be left alone, except here.
Respectable.
Okay, Zach.
I raise your witch hut to my hermit shack.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah, I'll just be
This
out
is my
swamping. I'm sure wherever I am, I'll be sweating. I'm generally wet in a bad way.
Sexy.
Salty.
But yeah, besides that, I have very little social media, but you can find a lot of my content on YouTube with Katy, this beautiful beast over here. We make content at Critical Films on YouTube, and we make shows and random stuff. And then I'm here, and then otherwise I'll be either crying into my laptop or I'm living in my hermit shack.
And Katy, where can we find you?
You make our life sound so sad sometimes.
That's just my life. Your life is beautiful. My life is sad.
Our life is
I'm sad.
beautiful. He's just a sad boy.
So between two y'all, it's like one average life.
Maybe.
No, our life
One
is
very dramatic
phenomenal.
average life.
Katy has like the life fucking energy of like 8 people, so she has a lot more votes than I do.
I run out of coffee and fear. Yeah, you can find me everywhere. You can Google or do beacons.page/FreckledHobo. All my links are on there, from rated G to rated you don't need to know. If you definitely want to watch some cool content, I would go to Critical Films. We've got some cool nerd content. We've got Becoming Famous, and hopefully by this time the Love and LARP skit will be up, which is super goddamn funny. And then, yeah, that's it.
Great.
Great.
You can find me at
Dopamine.
Slammy Sammy Luck on the Instagrams. You can find me at Slammy Sammy Luck on the other stuff, Twitter. You can find me at Sammy Luck on the TikTok, where I do TikTok things sometimes. You can find me at Steam Buddy Productions, where you can see some of my funny things from the past. Hopefully I can make some more stuff. And of course, you can find us here at Chuckesluts. Pretty much put us in the search bar. You will find our faces. You will find what we're making. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple Podcast and a bunch of other places. And of course, we're at Red House Productions.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be here every Monday. That is our day, unless I can't get there, in which case it might be Tuesday, but mostly Monday. Once again, thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking around for the whole damn
Thanks
year if
for
you
a
did.
year.
Whole
Oh my
ass
God.
year.
Whole year?
And honestly, it was not worth doing without you, the viewer, the listener, the person who stumbled across us. And we will see you now, and
Yeah, you
hopefully
stumbly little bitch.
the next years that come with all the chuckle slutty goodness. Catch you later.
Don't be afraid to be a
Peace.
slut.
Slut more.
Slut it up.
Slut more,
it up,
slut
it
more,
up.
slut more.